Hello, welcome to the third in a series of videos where I discuss what's next on the channel, what I want to play. I have a pool of games here that we're discussing in three basic categories: games I want to finish that I've started and hadn't gotten around to, games that I've finished but want to replay, and games that I've never played but I want to begin. And today we're talking about the third one, games that I've never played but want to start. And again, if you watch the other ones, you know that this isn't necessarily the end-all be-all. I'm still taking suggestions, so if there's something you want to see on the channel, please let me know and I will absolutely take it into consideration. And we're going to start off with Pokemon Brilliant Diamond. So Pokemon Diamond probably should have been in the 10 games to replay, because that, along with Final Fantasy XII, was one of the two games that got me through my senior year of high school, which was a significant obstacle in my adolescent life. So Diamond, aside from probably Red and Blue, is of the handheld generation of Pokemon games, the one that I look fondly back on the most. I think I had over 300 hours in it. I completed the Pokedex. I did everything there was to do. I even had like daily regiments and notes about making sure I watered all the berry trees, and it was insane. I have a copy of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, but I haven't gotten to sit down and play with it at all. I would love to do a playthrough of it, a Nuzlocke or a regular gameplay or a challenge playthrough, anything. I really want to play that game. So that was probably something you will see on the channel at some point. The other one that I have to say is obviously Haunted Chocolatier. When that comes out, we will play it day one, and we will play it to completion no matter what, unless I die. And you don't need me to explain why. Concerned Ape, Stardew Valley, that's enough. Everything I've seen about it looks amazing. I would probably play it just for the art, period, even if the story and gameplay were terrible, which I really don't think they will be. I think this game is going to be amazing. As good as Stardew Valley, I don't know, probably not, but I think it's going to be great regardless. Moonstone Island, the game that has a Studio Ghibli feeling to it, but takes its gameplay from Pokemon, Stardew Valley, and The Legend of Zelda. It's a top-down pixel art style like the Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past and Stardew Valley. It has monster collecting like Pokemon, and it's a farm RPG and life sim. I have watched some amount of video content on this. The opening is basically just like Kiki's Delivery Service, so I absolutely have to play this game. Kiki's Delivery Service is maybe my favorite Studio Ghibli movie. If not my favorite, it's definitely in the top 3. So I definitely have to play Moonstone Island. I also definitely have to play Disney's Dreamlight Valley, which is the Disney farm sim, and I think that's basically enough said there. I've seen kind of mixed reviews on this, but the one bad review I saw, I don't think the person gave it a very fair shot, and they also seemed kind of biased against it to begin with, but I've also seen a lot of positive reviews on it, and I definitely want to play it, and I definitely think it's something that Drake and Emma would be interested in / are interested in, so I think at some point in the future, maybe not near future, but at some point, you'll see us playing this on the Valley. I already have an event in the Discord scheduled for the release day of Tales of the Shire. Middle-earth is my second biggest obsession in the world of nerddom after only Star Wars, and a farm RPG that takes place in the Shire. Oh my gosh, this is the biggest game that I never knew I wanted, but I actually absolutely need. I don't care what my financial state is. We are buying this game on release. We are playing it and streaming it day one and playing it to completion. I'm actually just going to bump it up here with Haunted Chocolatier. And actually, let's just put this... These are in no particular order, but I just feel like Haunted Chocolatier and Tales of the Shire need to be at the top. Okay, so The Legend of Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom. I have been saying for years that Zelda needed to have her own game. I love this sort of Link's Awakening, Link to the Past kind of style. I haven't gotten to play the remake of Link's Awakening yet, but I want to play that as well. This seems like the spiritual successor to that, but they do obviously do a lot more with the mechanics in this. Kind of feels like it's a little bit more out of the box mechanics wise, similar to Tears of the Kingdom. I haven't watched anybody play it, but I've seen a lot of the gameplay videos and trailers, and it really looks cool. And regardless of that, I just need to play it because it's a Zelda game finally. Continuing the coziness, Summer of Mara is a game that I've wanted to play for years. I remember when this game was a Kickstarter game, and I considered supporting it because they said it's a Harvest Moon Legend of Zelda game with a Studio Ghibli feel, and honestly, that's good enough for me. Kinseed, the farm RPG where you get to play through multiple generations, where your character can get married, have children, and die, and you continue to play as your kids. And your kids can get married, have children, and die, and then you just keep playing through multiple generations. Not only that, but the townsfolk grow old and die, and their children take their places. I've got to play this game. It's also beautiful. I've watched Sharky Games play it quite a bit. Love the art style. Gonna have to be playing this one at some point. And also, this one I don't have as much information on, Fields of Mystria, but it's a newly released farm RPG with a really beautiful pixel anime art style. And I haven't watched gameplay videos on this one like I have with a lot of the others, but it just looks so good, and I've heard a couple different content creators say that it rivals Stardew Valley, so I need to play it just to find out if there's any truth in that. And then the game that's already been released that I probably want to play the most is Traveler's Rest, which is a tavern sim, kind of farm sim RPG where you run your own tavern, but you also have a farm and you can raise animals because you have to get ingredients to make the drinks and food that you serve in your tavern. And there's also, resource gathering and skill trees and all that. And you build and customize your tavern, and you can turn it into an inn and have rooms and decorate the rooms. And you have to negotiate the price with customers, and you also have to work the counter and throw people out when they get too rowdy. There was a point in time where I had watched every piece of content on this game that Sharky Games had released, and it looks like a blast. And I've already bought it, and I've just been waiting for a time to play it. So let's dig into, oh gosh. Let's dig into some of these other games in honorable mentions. Luigi's Mansion 2 and Luigi's Mansion 3. And honestly, Luigi's Mansion should be here as well. That would be in the replay section. I bought my GameCube on release day of the GameCube and played Luigi's Mansion start to finish. One of the first games I ever played to completion outside of Pokemon. Absolutely loved it. Also bought Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon on release, but I was kind of in a place in my life where I had a hard time playing a DS and getting into games, so I didn't really get much into it. We do have Luigi's Mansion 3, and I've played it some with Emma and Drake, and everybody enjoys it. Ideally, what I'd like to do is just sit down and play through all three of them together, because I really love the games. So that's what I'd like to do at some point. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, I have started twice and not really even gotten off the first planet either time. I've started it, and I know all the story and stuff, and I really love the story, and I really want to take the time to play it, but it's just been hard to find the time. The original one, Knights of the Old Republic, was one of my COVID games that I got to sit and play through as I was, in the first year of the COVID epidemic. So do that. So I'd like to spend some time on that eventually. Pokemon Legends ZA, I'm putting as an honorable mention. I guess actually, realistically, we should talk about Pokemon Legends Arceus first. This is the game that brought me back to Pokemon. I stopped playing with X and Y because of nothing against those games particular, but I just got burned out. I played from red and blue all the way up to black and white 2, and just, you know, destroyed all of those games, and I was just absolutely burned out after like 15 years of playing these games, and I just needed a break. So I tried playing X and Y and had a hard time with it, and then I didn't touch Sun and Moon or Sword and Shield. But when this game came out, it was just so different that I had to try it, and it's what pulled me back into Pokemon. Aside from Pokemon Go, I had always been playing Pokemon Go since release, more or less. This is maybe like my favorite Pokemon game, with its only competition really being Red and Blue, Diamond, and Pokemon Go, I guess. Maybe Pokemon Snap. And then Pokemon Legends ZA I'm not even sure if it might be Zeta Alpha. I'm not even sure if I'm saying this title yet, but this is the announced sequel that's coming out in 2025. We don't know when, we don't know what, we don't know anything. There's no knowledge on this game. Honestly, Pokemon Legends Arceus should be in this 10 games to replay, and I'm actually going to take out Force Unleashed and put Legends Arceus up here and make Force Unleashed a honorable mention. Just because Force Unleashed I love, but it doesn't really fit with like the theme of the channel. So we're gonna put it there. That's fine. Okay. Story of Season Friends of Mineral Town. It's the remake of my favorite game in the pre-Stardew Valley world, Harvest Moon Back to Nature. It's a remake of what used to be my favorite game, so I got to play that at some point. Innocent Life, the futuristic sci-fi RPG. I've had a copy of it for years. I've just never sat down and played it. Something I really want to play. And then Space Station Silicon Valley should probably also have been in that top row with games that I want to finish. I just don't think that my desire to finish it is quite as strong as the 10 that I had listed. So let me actually just kind of put it over here with Tears of the Kingdom and Tree of Tranquility and the Luigi's Mansion stuff. But one of my favorite platformers from the Nintendo 64. You play like as a robot's chip, and you possess different animals. Drake and I might do like a one-off video of it, or a one-off stream of it sometime, just to show you guys what it was like. It was an absolute blast. And then new Pokemon Snap, which I'm thinking should absolutely make it into that top row, and we may have to bump down one of the other games. Probably Tulip, if it'll even let me do it. It won't let me do it, so we'll just put it in honorable mentions for now. Beck and I have been playing this on and off for a couple years, and it's really a short game, and we just haven't put the time into finishing it. But the reason why I haven't finished it is because I'm playing it with someone else. So I'd like to start a new game and play it on the channel at some point after playing the original. And then Roots of Pacha honestly should be in this category. We're going to bump down Fields of Mystery just because I don't know a lot about this game, and put Roots of Pacha because Roots of Pacha should have been in the original video. It's the prehistoric farm RPG and life sim. Basically, imagine Stardew Valley in the prehistoric era. This is a game that I followed from development for years, and have been waiting for a chance to play it, have it on Switch, and have just been putting it off because of time. And yeah, okay. So this is kind of the pool of games that I want to play. I recently watched some videos on the psychology of gaming and how to choose a game that you want to play, and came up with like a structure on how we're actually going to choose. But we'll get into that on our next video in this series, where we actually kind of evaluate some of these and decide what it is we're actually going to play. So until next time, thank you very much for watching, and DarthDaimyo is blasting off again.